Look up at the night sky. What do you see? Stars, the moon, and maybe the future. A future where the line between nature and technology blurs. A future where the night is no longer dark, but filled with light. This is the story of the Space Mirror Project. A story of ambition, failure, and revival. A story that reminds us that even the wildest dreams can come true if we dare to reach for the stars. The idea wasn't entirely new. In the 1920s, a German scientist named Hermann Oberth had proposed using giant mirrors in space to reflect sunlight onto cities. It sounded like science fiction, but by the 1990s, Russia decided to give a try. Their project was called Znamya, which means banner in Russian. The goal? To launch a giant mirror into space, unfurl it like a sail, and reflect sunlight back to Earth. Imagine no more streetlights, no more energy wasted on lighting up the night. Just pure, natural sunlight redirected from space. In 1993, Russia launched Znamya 2, a 20-meter wide mirror made of thin, reflective film. It was attached to a spacecraft and designed to unfold like a giant umbrella. And guess what? It worked. For a few hours, Znamya 2 reflected a beam of light onto the Earth's surface. The beam was about as bright as a full moon and traveled across Europe at a speed of 8 kilometers per second. People reported seeing a strange, moving light in the sky, a man-made star, shining brighter than anything else. It was a triumph, but was also just the beginning. Fast forward to the 21st century. The world has changed, but the dream of lighting up the night from space hasn't gone away. In fact, it's being revived by China. In 2018, a Chinese company announced plans to launch a man-made moon into orbit. This wouldn't be a simple mirror like Znamya. Instead, it would be a satellite covered in reflective material designed to shine light on the city of Chengdu. The goal? To replace streetlights and save energy. The Chinese moon would be 8 times brighter than the real moon, and its light could cover an area of up to 50 square kilometers. Imagine walking home at night under the glow of a man-made moon. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it could soon become reality. But how would this work? The satellite would orbit Earth at an altitude of about 500 kilometers. It would reflect sunlight onto the city below, but the light would be soft and diffused like twilight. The Chinese team says the man-made moon could save millions of dollars in electricity costs and reduce carbon emissions. It could also help during natural disasters, providing light to areas without power. But not everyone is excited about the idea. Some worry about the environmental impact. What would happen to animals that rely on the natural cycle of day and night? Could the extra light disrupt ecosystems? And what about stargazers? Would a man-made moon drown out the stars? These are important questions. After all, light pollution is already a problem in many cities. Adding a man-made moon could make it worse. But the Chinese team says they've thought of that. The light would be adjustable, and the satellite could be turned off when not needed. They also plan to test the technology in remote areas before using it in cities. Still, the idea of a man-made moon raises bigger questions. Who gets to control the light? Could it be used as a weapon? And what happens if something goes wrong? These are questions we'll have to answer as we move forward, because the dream of lighting up the night from space isn't going away. In fact, it's just getting started. Encouraged by their success, Russia planned an even bigger mirror, Znamya 2.5. This one would be 25 meters wide and reflect a beam of light 7 kilometers across. But in 1999, disaster struck. During the launch, the mirror got tangled in the antenna of the spacecraft. It couldn't unfold properly, and the mission failed. With no money to continue, Russia abandoned the project. The dream of space mirrors was forgotten, or so it seemed. To understand the Space Mirror Project, we need to go back to the Cold War. This was a time when the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a race to conquer space. The Soviets launched the first satellite, Sputnik, in 1957. Then came the first human in space, Yuri Gagarin, in 1961. But the Soviets didn't stop there. They dreamed of using space not just for exploration, but for practical purposes. One of those dreams was to harness the power of the sun. The idea of space mirrors wasn't just about lighting up cities. It was also about agriculture. Imagine being able to extend daylight hours in remote areas, helping crops grow faster. Or melting snow in Siberia to make the land more usable. These were the kinds of ideas that fueled the Soviet space program. The Znamia project was led by a team of brilliant engineers and scientists. They knew the challenges were enormous. How do you build a mirror that's lightweight yet strong enough to survive in space? How do you unfurl it without it getting tangled? The answer was a material called mylar, a thin, reflective film that could be folded like a parachute. The mirror was designed to unfold in space using centrifugal force to keep it rigid. The first test, Znamia 2, was a success, but the team knew they had to go bigger. That's where Znamia 2.5 came in. Znamia 2.5 was supposed to be a game changer. At 25 meters wide, it would be the largest space mirror ever built. But during the launch, something went wrong. As the mirror began to unfurl, it got caught on the antenna of the spacecraft. The engineers tried to fix it, but was no use. The mission had to be abandoned. It was a devastating blow. The Russian space program was already struggling with funding after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Without the resources to try again, the Znamia project was shelved. Fast forward to 2018. China, now a major player in space exploration, announced plans to revive the idea of space mirrors. But this time, the technology would be more advanced. The Chinese man-made moon isn't just a mirror. It's a satellite covered in a highly reflective coating designed to shine light on specific areas of the Earth. The goal is to provide illumination for cities, reducing the need for streetlights and saving energy. But the Chinese team isn't stopping there. They're also exploring other uses for the technology. For example, during natural disasters, the man-made moon could provide light to areas without power, helping rescue teams and survivors. It's an ambitious plan, and it's not without its critics. Some scientists worry about the environmental impact of a man-made moon. Light pollution is already a problem in many cities, disrupting ecosystems and making it harder to see the stars. Adding a man-made moon could make these problems worse. Others worry about the potential for misuse. Could the technology be used as a weapon, shining blinding light on enemy troops? Or could it be used to manipulate the weather, melting ice caps, or causing droughts? These are serious concerns, and they'll need to be addressed before the man-made moon becomes a reality. Despite the challenges, the dream of lighting up the night from space is alive and well. And it's not just China that's interested. Private companies around the world are exploring similar ideas, from space-based solar power to giant mirrors that could combat climate change. The future of space mirrors is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The line between science fiction and reality is blurring. Who knows? In a few decades, we might all be living under the glow of man-made moons. Gaze up at the night sky. What meets your eyes? Stars scattered like diamonds, the moon casting its pale glow, perhaps the faint streak of a satellite tracing its path. But imagine this. One day, you might see something unexpected. Something not born of nature, but crafted by human ingenuity, a creation so luminous it outshines even the moon. What would that mean for us, for our place in the cosmos? The answer lies in the story of the Space Mirror Project. This is the story of an ambitious dream, a dream to light up the night with man-made moons. A dream that began in the shadows of the Cold War, was almost forgotten, and is now being revived in the 21st century. This is the story of the Space Mirror Project. So, what does the future hold? Will we see man-made moons lighting up our nights? Will cities like Chengdu become the first to live under artificial sunlight? It's hard to say. The technology is still in its early stages, and there are many challenges to overcome. But one thing is clear, the dream of the Space Mirror Project is alive and well. It's a dream that began with a simple idea to use the power of the sun to light up the Earth. And it's a dream that could change the way we see the night sky forever. This is the tale of the Space Mirror Project, a journey of bold aspirations, setbacks, and eventual triumph. It's a story that teaches us no dream is too grand, no goal too distant, if we have the courage to chase the stars and the resilience to rise after every fall. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe, give us a like, and share this video. And we would love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's stay connected.